we should try to bring in visual information also. So we call all of these audiovisual aids. So we can plan at the stage of planning itself beforehand, what stage, what step, what item we need to bring into our presentation to make it more effective.
Now, from the planning and the steps of planning, we need to the core part of our presentation, and the presentation should be divided into 4 parts, 4 sections. First being introduction, where you introduce the theme, introduce the topic, and you can start in different manners, and we have different techniques. You can start with a story, you can start with an anecdote, and
the next item would be main content, then conclusion and interaction with the audience, which when the presenter interacts, talks, or gets some questions from the audience. So these are the 4 most important parts of the presentation. We would be starting looking at each item in a little detail. Let us first take up introducing the presentation. The most important thing that happens is to break the ice. We do not know the audience, and audience do not know us. So it is often said also that the first impression is the last impression. So we should try to create a very good first impression. If we are confident, if we have done good amount of planning, then definitely we would be very confident to make a presentation. So the first thing that can be done is to greet enthusiastically the audience that we have.
And it creates a bond. Immediately it creates a bond between you and the audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another important thing which helps in breaking the ice is making an eye contact. I think we all the students also who are listening to this interaction would agree that there are some presenters who are able to look into the eyes of the audience, and thereby they develop a kind of rapport and develop a kind of sense of confidence in the audience. And a person who is not able to look into their eyes, we understand that the person is nervous or probably not confident, and therefore is not able to make a good impact upon the students. So it is very necessary that we make an eye contact, smile, and greet the audience.
Yeah. Another important aspect is capturing the attention of the audience. Here, as we have told about audience analysis, so the presenter needs to keep in mind that what's the stage or what's the phase, what's the timing of the day, what's the schedule in which he is placed. If the audience is getting bored, they are tired. So what the presenter can do is start with something which is surprising, which is startling. Ask questions. Start with a story. Start with an anecdote, or ask a question, a rhetorical question sometimes, or start with the quotation.
Absolutely. For example, if I ask my audience right now, what role does oral speech play in understanding a presentation? So they would probably think that the words play more important role, but it's a very surprising thing that 60% of role of understanding is played by the body language as well as the intonation of the presenter, and the words, the information that is conveyed, play lesser important role. They convey 40% of information to the audience. So that might be a startling information to many of them.
Yeah, true. Now again, the thing is, we need to show relevance of the topic to the audience, and initially we may give a brief account of all the ideas that we are going to cover in the due course of our presentation. So this we can do by, suppose as ma'am told, that if you are making a presentation on suppose say the significance of what to say, for example, reality shows, so on the audience or on an age group, then what you need to do is give some relevant points, talk about some reality shows, and then give them the information regarding the impact of the reality shows on people of different age groups. So you are establishing a relevance there, and that builds your the content of your presentation.
You can even highlight a couple of points that you're going to touch upon in your presentation, because audience have come to listen to you, and therefore if you tell in advance what are the things that you are going to speak upon, they would be more interested in listening to you if their expectations are being met. So it's much important that you present in the introduction itself the important points. Sometimes we call it the agenda of your presentation also.
True.
So shall we move on to the main body?
Now, the main body it constitutes the most important part of your presentation. Your body decides what would be the final impact of your presentation. One should keep in mind that they don't go out of way. They are not off track while making their presentation. They have collected only relevant information, filtered, selected what is necessary and what they need to present to the audience at that point of time,
Yes.
according to their mood, according to their state of mind.
Yes.
You need to organize the data properly, chronologically, sequentially, and also logically.
Yes.
Suppose you are making, as I told you, you are making a presentation on the impact of reality shows, then you cannot start immediately from not talking about the impact of reality shows. You need to prepare, give a background. So when you are making your main body, you start with the introduction. After introduction, you build your body. And then move on to the impact of reality shows on the people or audience of a particular age group.
And you should also develop your ideas sufficiently. Suppose you are making a case, as you said, you were just now talking about reality shows, and you are trying to say that reality shows are very good and very helpful in developing a personality of a person. You have to substantiate why you believe that. You have to give some proof of how reality shows have actually influenced the life of some people, or how they have helped them in their lives further. So you have to develop an idea and substantiate it by giving examples, by giving some quotes, by giving some testimonies, and that makes your presentation much more effective. I think you would also agree if I simply say that you should not use Lux and you should start using Dove, you would probably not agree with me.
Definitely, I would not agree. I would like you to convince me. Why should I not?
Why should I?
Yeah,
yes.
true.
So unless I give you substantial proofs that Lux is not good for your skin and Dove is good
Dove is
for
good
your
for my
skin,
skin.
you would not agree with me. So we have to develop and substantiate our position clearly, give some points to support, give some examples to support, and that all has to be done in the main body of our presentation. So now we move on to the last part of the oral presentation, which is concluding the presentation, which is a very important section, dear students. Please remember, whatever be the presentation, it's normal tendency of the students or the audience that they attentively listen to the first 10% and last 10% of the presentation. And therefore it becomes very important that our conclusion is very strong and very effective, so that the audience carry it home with them and remember it long after the presentation has got over.
And I would like to tell you that studies and research has proved that 40% of whatever we listen
Yes.
is lost.
Absolutely, yes.
So concluding a presentation is very important.
Good that you mentioned that. I was thinking about that, and what ma'am is saying is very true, that we lose out most of the information that we have heard. And if we summarize it in the conclusion part, if we highlight the main points that we have talked upon in our presentation, then the audience are more likely to remember the most important points.
Because by concluding, we bring back the audience into our presentation. We again grab their attention, because again, as students may be aware of different types of listeners. We have marginal listeners, we have passive listeners, we have projective listeners, and very few of them remain active listeners throughout the presentation. So why conclusion is very significant because it makes the audience recollect and recall whatever they have listened to in the due course of the presentation.
It is also important to suggest future course of action. We may call upon the audience to do some more work. suppose we are advertising an organization, a social organization, we have to call upon the audience to get engaged with our organization or to participate creatively in our organization. Because when we are making an oral presentation, as we talked about it earlier, there is definitely a purpose to making a presentation. And the presentation's purpose has to be stressed in the conclusion by asking them for some more future
Actions. Definitely. Now, again, while you are concluding the presentation, you should end. As we told that you begin with an anecdote, you may again proceed in the same manner. You may conclude with some story, some anecdote, some experience of yours, or even a quote.
Even a quote,
Yeah,
yes.
that's very important.
And these are the things which students remember. Students often like to listen to Shero Shairi,
Yeah.
and that is what they remember for a longer time. And if the Shero Shairi or the quotations or the stories are relevant, are suitable to the occasion, they are definitely likely to remember the presentation because of the quotation.
Because what they may not be able to recall the entire presentation, but they may recall the presentation owing to the quote or the Shero Shairi that they have listened to.
Absolutely.
And lastly, but most importantly, we need to thank our audience
for their patient
listening. Yeah.
Yes, and giving time
Yeah.
to the speaker.
Because
Yes.
listener are equally important in presentations.
Yes.
So this our students need to keep in mind. We now move on to the next portion.
That is introduction. We have given you some kind of opening sentences which would help you in making a good presentation, because it is often said a thing well begun is half
done.
accomplished. So you have to always keep in mind that, as we talked about earlier, if you warmly greet your audience, you have half won the battle. So we can begin with some kind of greeting. For example, a very warm good morning to all our friends. And you must have heard many a times, dear friends and colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good morning. And such kind of phrases try to or help us to break the ice between us and the audience. So we can note down a couple of greetings which are different. I mean, everybody wants to be a little different from the usual stock. So you can change your opening statement, your greeting for different occasions, and accordingly start off your presentations.
If you would agree with me, when you greet, it should not be just superficial.
Absolutely.
You should pass the feel, the emotion to the audience.
Yes.
So that builds a rapport. So do
yes.
not be superficial. Do
Yes.
not be dry.
Yes.
Have some, pass on that energy, pass on that enthusiasm that you have to the audience, because you
yes,
get the same back.
Yes.
You make them participate in the presentation with just a warm greeting.
Absolutely. And your enthusiasm definitely is transferable. If you are enthusiastic, even the students respond enthusiastically, and it energizes them. They
And even
become
us.
more, yes, if it energizes us too.
also.
Yes, definitely. And they come in a framework of mind in which they are ready to change to their passive stances to active stances of listening more attentively to you.
Definitely.
Then when we move on from introduction to main body, there has to be something in our speech which shows that we have now finished our introduction and we are moving to main body. There are certain words and phrases which we call as transitional phrases or words. They are also known as connectors. They show progression from one point to another. For example, we have most of the connectives, conjunctions are of this kind. And, but, if, since, etc. So when we are moving from introduction, or when we are talking about our main body, when we are presenting some information, for example, we were talking about reality show, or I was talking about Lux and Dove. So if I want to convince my dear friend and telling her that Lux is not good for her skin, so I might first like to say, first of all, Lux is this kind of a soap, but Dove is another kind of a soap. So I am using some connectors and I am using some transitional phrases where I am indicating the difference between the two kinds of soaps that we are talking about.
Yeah. and when we use these connectors, it links our introduction to the body, and the two aspects, they don't appear to be broken and
Yes.
separate pieces. So these connectors, these transition phrases and verbs, they add a continuity to the entire presentation, and it doesn't only link the presentation, it also links our ideas.
Absolutely, yes. And similarly, when we move from main body to conclusion, again, these transitional phrases come to our rescue. We can indicate that we are reaching the concluding part of our presentation, or we are nearing the end. So we can mention some phrases, transitional phrases, for example, to conclude, in the end, etc., and that will signal that we are moving towards the conclusion, and it's time for the audience to be refreshed again to listen to the most important ideas that we would like to sum up. So some concluding sentences have also been mentioned here for you. If you like, you can take note of some of them. To sum up, to conclude, finally, I would like to say, so these are the words which tell the audience that your presentation is now coming to an end. Now, the fourth most important part of interaction with the audience. There are two ways of interacting with the audience. One is during the presentation. While a person is making a presentation, sometimes the audience raise their hands and ask some questions. They ask for some clarifications or some justifications. So then how do you handle that presentation? And some interaction takes place after the presentation gets over. So during the presentation, if you find that the audience have got distracted and they are probably lost in trust, then you may pose some questions to them in general and expect them to respond in light of whatever presentation you have made. Do you know, I make use of a strategy. I don't know whether you have heard of it or not. I deliberately write a wrong statement, a grammatically incorrect statement, or a misspelled word on the board, and I wait for my audience. And you know what happens? The students are very happy to point out a mistake when the teacher has
commits
made.
that, yeah.
So they immediately wake up and they tell me, "Ma'am, galat hai," right? So that brings them back, that enlivens them, and they feel so happy that they have pointed out a mistake.
Mistake to the teacher. That's more
Yes.
important.